Imagine you have never seen a sunset before. You have never been told what the sun is. You have never heard the word planet. You have never seen a map of the universe. You are just a human, standing on the ground, looking up, and above you is something enormous, something that moves, something that never stops. This is the story of the moment humans first looked up and started asking why. 200,000 years ago, early humans lived in small groups across Africa. They had no cities, no language as we know it, no tools beyond rocks and sticks, but every single night, without fail, the sky changed above them. The bright ball of fire that warmed them every day disappeared below the horizon, and in its place came thousands of tiny lights that moved in perfect patterns every single night. To us, this is Tuesday night. To them, this was the most terrifying and beautiful thing they had ever seen. Think about what that first night must have felt like. No electricity, no shelter, total darkness except for the fire and those lights above. They had no idea what those lights were, but they noticed something incredible. The lights came back, every single night, in the same positions, following the same paths. Something in the chaos above them had order, had rhythm, had pattern, and that was the moment everything changed, because humans noticed, and humans remembered, and remembering patterns is exactly what made us human. Before language, before writing, before religion, there was a human, looking up, counting the stars. Let us start with the most obvious thing in the sky, the sun. Early humans did not know it was a star. They did not know it was 93 million miles away. To them, the sun was the most powerful thing that existed. It brought warmth, and when it left, things died. So early humans began watching the sun, tracking exactly where it rose, exactly where it set, every single day, for generations. They did this with nothing but their eyes and their memory, and they discovered something that would shape all of human civilization: the seasons. They noticed that when the sun stayed low in the sky, it was cold and animals disappeared. And when the sun climbed high, it was warm. The plants grew, the animals returned. This was not just interesting, this was survival. Knowing the seasons meant knowing when to move, when to plant, when to hunt. The sky was not decoration. It was the first calendar ever made, but the sun was only half the story. Because at night, something else took over. The moon. The moon was stranger than the sun. It changed shape. Every single night, it looked different. A thin sliver one night, a glowing full circle the next, then slowly disappearing back into nothing. Early humans watched this cycle and counted it. Roughly 29 days from full moon to full moon. That is where the word month comes from. Moon, month, the same root word. Every time you say the word month, you are using a word that a human invented by staring at the sky 50,000 years ago. The sky did not just fascinate them, it gave them language, and they were only just getting started. Now let us talk about the stars, because this is where things get truly strange. Early humans had no light pollution, no streetlights, no phone screens, no city glow. When they looked up at night, they saw roughly 10,000 stars with their naked eyes every single night, and they noticed that most stars stayed in fixed positions relative to each other, but a few moved. These wandering lights were what we now call planets, but to early humans, they were something else entirely. They were gods, spirits, messages from another world, and the patterns the stars made together, the constellations, those became the first stories ever told. Imagine sitting around a fire 40,000 years ago and someone pointing up at a group of stars saying those lights up there are a great bear chasing a hunter. That was humanity's first science fiction, first mythology, first attempt to make sense of a universe that made no sense. And these stories were not random. They were teaching tools. When that bear constellation appeared in the sky, it meant winter was coming. Move camp now. When that group of stars rose just before dawn, it meant the rainy season was starting. Plant your seeds. The constellations were a survival manual written in the sky, visible to everyone, memorized by all. The sky was humanity's first book, and every child had to learn to read it. But there was one discovery that changed everything. One night, one moment, one thing they saw that nobody expected. A shooting star, a light that moved across the entire sky in seconds, faster than anything they had ever seen, then gone. To us, it is a piece of space rock burning up in our atmosphere. To them, it was a message from whatever lived above the clouds. And that fear, that wonder, that desperate need to explain what they could not understand. That is what built the first religions, the first gods, the first temples. But early humans did not just watch the sky. They built things to track it. About 5,000 years ago, a group of humans in what is now England began dragging massive stones across miles of landscape. Some of these stones weighed 25 tons. They had no wheels, no cranes, no machines, just human bodies and determination, and the result was Stonehenge, a circle of giant stones perfectly aligned with the sunrise on the longest day of the year. That is not a coincidence. That is engineering. That is science, done 5,000 years before anyone invented the telescope. Think about what that means. These people understood the movement of the sun well enough to build a permanent monument aligned with it, using nothing but their eyes, and Stonehenge was not the only one. All across the ancient world, humans built sky observatories. Every ancient civilization on Earth completely independently built structures to track the same sky. That tells you something profound. Looking at the sky and trying to understand it is not cultural. It is human, It is built into us. The same way birds know to migrate and flowers know to face the sun, we are wired to look up. We always have been. Now, here's the part that will genuinely surprise you. For people with no instruments, no math, no education system, early humans got a remarkable amount right. Ancient Polynesian navigators crossed the entire Pacific Ocean using only the stars. No compass, no map, no GPS. They memorized the rising and setting positions of hundreds of stars, the direction of the waves, and they never got lost. The ancient Egyptians calculated the exact length of a year as 365 days. They were out by only 6 hours, using nothing but shadows and stones and years of patient watching. Ancient Greek astronomers calculated the circumference of the earth using just shadows and the angle of the sun, and they were within 2% of the correct answer, 2%, without a single piece of modern technology. The Mayans tracked the movements of Venus so accurately that their calendar was more precise than the European calendar used in the 1500s. All of this, done by people looking up at the sky with nothing but their eyes and their minds. No computers, no satellites, no universities, just curiosity and thousands of years of watching. They looked at the same sky we look at. They asked the same questions we ask. What is out there? Are we alone? Does it end? And if it ends, what is beyond the end? For most of human history, the sky was a mystery, beautiful, terrifying, unexplainable. And then in 1609, a man in Italy pointed a tube of glass at the sky, and everything changed forever. And through that telescope, he saw something that shattered everything humans believed about the sky. Moons orbiting Jupiter, mountains on our moon, spots on the sun. The sky was not perfect and unchanging. It was alive and messy and full of things nobody had ever imagined. The universe was not built for us. We were just small creatures on a small rock. That idea was terrifying to people in 1609. The church called it heresy. Galileo was put under house arrest for saying the earth moves around the sun. He was right, and they knew he was right, but the truth was too big to accept. The same way early humans were afraid of what the sky meant.
The same way early humans were afraid of what the sky meant, educated people in 1609 were afraid of what the telescope revealed. Fear of the unknown is the most human thing there is. So what does all of this mean for us today? Everything you use every day came from humans staring at the sky, your calendar, your clock, GPS navigation, the understanding that the earth is round. All of it started with a human looking up and asking why. The first human to look up at a star and feel wonder is directly connected to the engineer who designed the satellite orbiting above your head right now. The only difference is the tools. The question has always been the same. What is up there? Are we alone? What does it all mean? And here is the most remarkable thing of all. We still do not have the answers. We have been to the moon. We have sent probes beyond our solar system. We have photographed black holes. And we still do not know if we are alone. We still do not know what dark matter is. We still do not know if the universe is infinite. The sky is still winning. Next time you are outside at night, stop for a second. Look up. You are looking at the same sky that terrified your ancestors 200,000 years ago. The same stars, the same moon, the same questions. Every civilization that ever existed looked up at those lights and wondered, and every one of them passed that wonder down to the next generation. All the day down to you, standing here, still wondering. The first human who looked up at the sky did not know they were starting something. They were just afraid of the dark and curious about the lights. And from that one moment of curiosity came calendars, navigation, science, space travel, and every question we are still trying to answer today. Not bad for someone who just looked up one night and could not look away. If you found this interesting, there is a lot more where that came from. Hit subscribe so you do not miss the next one. And let me know in the comments, what do you think early humans believed the stars actually were?